This seizure is a blatant violation of the bylaws, Section 3, Subsection 4. I demand you remove this chain immediately.
Karen.
Blue strobes bounced off the lake at 6:11 a.m. as I walked past cold rails and wet boards to my boat. The air bit my cheeks. Somebody brewed coffee on a porch. I could smell it over the diesel. A bright orange chain cut across my slip with a plastic tag. Seized for violation. My name was spelled wrong. My key fob went dead. The screen flashed, access denied. A security camera blinked red like a tiny eye. May 3, 2024. That's the morning the HOA tried to erase my spot and my weekend. 22 days from the first warm Saturday. I stood there, hands numb, thinking how small a chain can be and still ruin a month. Call this HOA seized my lake slip for 22 days. Too bad I am the prosecutor. The fight wasn't about a boat. It was about power. I bought that slip with my unit. It's on the plat map. The board said I failed a surprise inspection at 9:00 p.m. on a Tuesday. They said my cleats were unsafe. They posted a picture from someone else's dock. I emailed, called, knocked. Neighbor eyes slid away. The president, Karen with the visor, waved me off from her golf cart. Take it up at the next meeting, she said, and rolled by with a smile that smelled like sunscreen and control. I tried nice. I spoke calm at the clubhouse. I brought the deed and the maintenance receipts. The board table had cookie crumbs and power. They ignored the deed. A man in a polo read a script about community standards. He called me aggressive for asking who ordered the chain. The security guard crossed his arms. I heard someone whisper, "Don't get on her bad side." I went home and stared at the orange tag in my hands. It made my palm itch. That's when the line in the sand got real. I said it out loud to the mirror. No drama, no shouting. Proper channels only. But every channel, then I got to work. I filed a public records request with the City Lake Patrol. I pulled covenants, bylaws, and the dock addendum. I took a tape measure to every cleat in a 10-slip stretch. Timeline item 1, April 5 at 4:27 a.m., false trespass call. I logged who called, what time, and which camera blinked. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I set out copies of my deed and a blown-up plat at 200%. I printed their inspection report and circled the wrong slip number. The file landed with 63 pages. One plain law line sat on top in big letters. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. My plan was simple. Build a record. Then spring it in daylight. The twist came easy because Karen got greedy. On May 9th, at 3:12 p.m., I emailed asking where my slip fees were going during the seizure. She sent back a number and a note. Send it here to keep your place active. It was her personal payment handle. I sent $10 as a test with the memo community slip hold. She hearted it. Then another email went out from her account at 7:04 p.m. with a photo of my chained slip and a winky face. Perfect. I set the projector for the open board meeting on May 16th. I brought donuts because I'm not a monster. The room smelled like sugar and lake mud. When public comments opened, I stood, rolled the binder on a cart, and hit play. First slide, the map with my unit tied to slip B7. Next, my key fob logs. Then the inspection photo from slip C3, not mine. Then the payment handle screen, big as a movie. The room went so quiet I heard ice shift in the cooler. Phones came out. Neighbors filmed. Someone snorted when the winky face filled the wall. Laughter bubbled, sharp and mean. A teen in the back whispered, "This is going viral." Comments pinged. "That's her Venmo," said a guy I'd never met, and the room hissed. I kept my voice low. Not a show, a record. I turned the last page in the binder and set it on the table. On top sat a letter I had already sent to the county ethics board and the state bar. I said one thing to the mic. I am a prosecutor. I recuse myself from any criminal action. But I am a homeowner, and this is civil theft. I stepped away and sat down. The projector fan hummed like a bug. 2 officers walked in 10 minutes later, called by the board. They looked at the slides. They listened. One county inspector had come because of my 311 report about the chain across a public access ladder. He measured and shook his head. The city council liaison checked the bylaws in the binder and tapped the deed. Then everything flipped. The officer turned to Karen and said, "Ma'am, we have to ask you some questions." The inspector wrote a violation for the unauthorized chain and the blocked ladder. The liaison read the clause where a deeded slip cannot be reassigned without a vote. The board lawyer, who had been quiet, asked for a recess. I heard the officer say, "Cameras will help. Evidence is clear." It was calm. It was clean. It was lawful. My chain came off that night at 9:18 p.m. The guard handed me the orange tag without meeting my eye. On May 20th, the board sent a letter restoring my slip and waiving $240 in bogus fees. On May 23rd, they posted a public apology to all 5 owners they had suspended this spring. Karen resigned as president and as treasurer. She agreed to repay funds the board said she had routed wrong. The city closed the latter case with a fine. The ethics board opened an inquiry. I am not here to dance on that. I took my nephew fishing at sunrise. The lake looked like glass. A neighbor brought coffee and said, "Thank you for doing it right." That meant more than the win. I want a normal summer. I want calm water and small waves on the dock at 7:02 p.m. That's all. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.